I still believe that great content will trump anything. That's hard though. And for those of you listening, I know that everybody struggles with this. Great content is really hard to make. And so follow the DRock mentality of quantity and focus more on quantity over quality, because as you do more, your quality will get better. To point something out, folks, this isn't just like setting your New Year's resolution in January and then just running through the entire year. Sometimes you have to shift. Sometimes you have to evolve, and more so in this arena, which is social media. And that's exactly what's happening for both of us. Tristan just happens to put it all over his whiteboard with really great handwriting, very well put together, and mine's just right here in this noggin. And so, Tristan, let's talk about what the hell you just posted up the other day and what is on your whiteboard, and let's break it down.
All right. So I did take some time to outline this for the second half, and I noticed only because just in the last couple of months, Jeff and I have changed our strategy a little bit in our approach to social media. And it's always changing. It's always changing because we're always testing things out. The more we learn, the more we can come back to you with. And it really starts with the understanding that a lot of this growth, a lot of what you're putting out there on social media is really going to depend on two things. You have to be driven by value, the value you're giving, right? This is all value driven. And it has to be more niche oriented, more along either a specific thing that you absolutely love, that you're great at, that the algorithm can then find an audience for, or it can be niche driven, area specific. Like me, I'm in Malibu. If I would do a lot more Malibu videos, it would find a lot more people in the region or people interested in Malibu or LA. So that's where this stemmed from, knowing that that's what the algorithm is primarily looking for. It's looking for that original content. And Jeff and I in this podcast, we've even said how Instagram is looking for original content. They don't want repurposed. They don't want reshared. They don't want anything that has a logo. They want all original content, and they'll reward you more for that. Right, man?
Yeah, I don't like that part because that's the hard part. And honestly, I'm going to continue to test that theory. So for those of you listening that also hear us talk about multi-purposing content, we still stand by that. This still, social media can't chew up 100% of your time or make you go crazy, because if it does, it ruins the whole point of doing this. And so, we're going to I still stand by what we do. There's some things that there's some tweaks you need to make along the way, like removing the TikTok watermark and things like that. Downloading these videos to your phone, shooting the video on your phone, doing the editing in Viva Video, then uploading to the various places, those kind of things, because, the more organic, the better. But at the end of the day, Tristan, I still believe that great content will trump anything. That's hard though. And for those of you listening, I know that everybody struggles with this. Great content is really hard to make. And so follow the DRock mentality of quantity and focus more on quantity over quality, because as you do more, your quality will get better, by nature, right?
Yeah, that's very true, man. And I think you and I are both testing out so many things that what we're seeing is now short form video and long form video is working. And you and I are always trying to figure out how can a business owner make less videos, because we're out there working. How can we make less and still produce more, right? And so this is actually where that idea came from. We're like, how can we do that? So we started looking more into YouTube longer form video and being able to shoot with the intent of having value, right? Value driven. That's number one. And so what I decided to do is jump into YouTube and create one longer form video. And instead of doing it once a week, which it's what I was doing, I decided to go in every day. And because I mean, Jeff and I, over the last 3 years, Jeff, especially through COVID, Jeff and I have realized that the world we're in, our number one job in any business, as we start leveraging out other parts of our businesses, is really one thing, and that's content creation. Content creation. It comes down to that very one thing, because social media and technology will only enhance those relationships that we have now and of the future. That's how we reach all of these people. So when we started realizing that more, we're like, well, why are we half-assing it? Right? Let's just go all in, and all in looks like show up every day. Show up every single day. But I know that we're all at different levels, right? So this is why we still think, what's the one thing we can do that can then make everything else easier? And that's one long form video on YouTube. And then if you do that once a week, you can have, either you can do it. I remember I used to do my own editing. Jeff, did you ever do your own editing?
Still do some of my own editing.
Well, I mean, I still use Viva Video and edit my own stuff here and there. But I'm talking about like overall, all of your editing at the beginning. Did you ever do that?
Absolutely. In the beginning, I couldn't afford a videographer. Yeah. I mean, dude, I used to do the restaurant videos, and I would go to the restaurant, set up tripod, cell phone, split lav mic. I mean, it was very basic setup. And then I would sit probably for an hour or two and edit a long form video. And boy, was that a pain in the ass. But that's kind of how you learn, man. I mean, this is the name of the game. And I think this is where a lot of people will never make it because they just don't have the patience or the desire to be a creator. And that was all a part of my journey, you know?
That's true, man. Is that where you and I met? Did you edit that video and audio for that podcast that we did in Closing Table in Laguna?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I did all that stuff, man. Back then I had nothing. I was just a guy trying to figure it out.
That's so funny. Yeah. I was doing the Casey Neistat a few years before that with the camera, the DSLR and the tripod. Yep. That's so funny. That's so funny. By the way, I'm trying to get Casey. So if I get Casey, I'm going to try to get him here.
Heck yeah.
So that'll be good. All right, YouTube, one long form video. That one long form video a week can then produce 1 to 5 shorts, because typically it's about 10 to 15 minutes long. From there, you can produce a lot of little shorts that you can then put into TikTok, Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels, LinkedIn. You can even run the long form video on LinkedIn, and then you can throw it into Twitter. That's the high level picture of somebody shooting one video a week and being able to dice it up. This way, you don't have to be doing videos every day. That's the easiest thing to do.